we are back again. It's another Tuesday night.
Beth is so hyped tonight, guys.
So energetic. I just got the biggest rush of energy, and I'm happy that we're about to talk for 2 hours because I can't even describe to you how much energy I just got.
Here's what I want to say. We were eating some popcorn during this episode, right?
Right.
And I was getting the buttery goodness all over my hands.
Sure.
But then when awkward moments would happen, I would keep touching my face. So I'm so going to have pizza face next week.
Maybe that's why I have this acne. Maybe I did that last week when I was watching.
The mask knee is relentless with me.
Where do you get it?
Wherever my mask is.
Yeah, because I've been getting it I have one on my chin right here, and then I have one right below my eye. Which I feel like that's where it rubs.
It's my chin and lip area. But, and I wash my masks.
I don't wash mine very much. I
don't know. Maybe I just need to up my wash routine.
I actually recently, I don't know where any of my masks are.
I just
my
ordered,
favorite ones.
I know. I feel like they go missing. I just ordered 5 more online.
Oh, I just was at Target today and I picked up 2 because I know they're not as good quality, but you can get 2 in a pack for $4.
I saw that. I never can find one where I like both of them at Target.
Oh, yeah.
So I never get them. But wow, what an episode.
Yeah, another good solid
How would you describe the energy of this episode, Beth?
I would describe this as the most bachelor-y type feeling episode we've had this season.
Okay, I would agree with that. Where it
just felt like classic drama, classic dates, real connections.
Real cringe.
There was a little mix of everything, and I also feel like this is a funny episode.
Yeah,
I laughed a good amount.
I think this is the most that I laughed.
Yeah, I think a lot of the other episodes that we've watched so far this season were either boring or just really dramatic the whole time or intense, and this one, it felt a bit more lighthearted.
Yeah, we needed this.
Even the drama was less serious.
The drama was hilarious.
It was
to me.
So funny. So funny.
Well, before we dive in, how was your week? How have things been?
It was a good week. I feel like it went by really fast.
I know.
I can't believe it's been a week since we recorded last episode.
Yeah.
Although we did record.
Thanksgiving is next week, Beth.
Oh my gosh, I know.
I need to get a turkey.
You better hurry because
I'm not making for a big group. It's only going to be me, my husband, and my parents.
Oh, okay. So just the
small
4 of you. But they go fast. So
yeah, I'm going tomorrow.
Where are you going to get your turkey?
Probably the Publix. I love Publix. I was a Kroger gal.
Yeah.
Through and through.
What happened?
I moved.
Oh, so you're not close to Kroger anymore?
I still am close to a Kroger, but it's not a great Kroger.
The Kroger by my house, where you also used to live by, is a good Kroger.
That's a good Kroger. This Kroger is just, it's just
older.
I'm usually not a judge with Google reviews, but this one had 2 stars on Google reviews.
Which, if someone's taking the time to review a grocery store...
And it's a lot of reviews.
Okay, there might be something wrong with it. So, maybe you're right. I'm not a Publix girl. I will be the first to admit that. I did not grow up having Publix around.
Me either.
And honestly, it's more expensive. So...
It is if you're just being willy-nilly with your purchases, but
I think if you shop the sales, it can be good too.
I feel like I spend a good amount of the same amount of money, and it's just because we don't buy a lot of the convenience stuff.
Oh yeah,
we cook a lot, so I don't know. But I'm a Publix gal now, and I don't know if there's a Publix tribe or a support group.
Yeah, my friend actually, she says that a very important part of who she is that she shops at Publix.
Yeah. And Kroger used to be an important
People feel really strongly about it. I shop at Kroger, I shop at Aldi, and I shop at Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Those are my 3 go-tos.
Yeah, I'm closer to a Trader Joe's now. But that's
Do you go to the one in Roswell or?
No, I'm going to the one in Kennesaw Marietta area.
Is it on Barrett or no? There's not a number.
I don't know exactly where it is. I've only been there once. but you have to go there like on a weekday.
Or else it's just crazy.
Madness. I don't grocery shop really on weekends anymore because of the madness.
So for anyone who lives in the Metro Atlanta area, maybe you know the areas we're talking about, but otherwise you're probably like,
yeah,
this probably means nothing to you. But at least now we know where.
How do we
everyone
even get on
shops.
this?
You just asked me how my week was.
How do we get on grocery shopping?
You said you had to buy a turkey, and then I asked where you're gonna get it from.
Okay.
But overall, I would say my week was good, and I don't know. I feel like it was like a very productive week. So I had a lot going on, but I actually kind of prefer that.
Yeah.
Because I like the feeling of getting stuff done.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, this was a busy week. I had some weird car trouble this week. But we have a really good mechanic we go to, and it was a very small problem. Like, you know how they say like there's a bolt loose?
Right.
It quite literally, it was just a bolt loose.
That's lucky.
And they didn't charge us anything.
Oh, that's great.
Because they literally just tightened something.
Sometimes you can go to the mechanic and think you're gonna pay $200, and then it's like $1,200 later.
Yeah, so we didn't pay for that, and then we got a huge refund from our insurance, and that went straight to savings.
You're rich.
No,
that's what you're telling me.
No, I just have
save that money.
Yeah, it went straight to savings.
I actually calculated. You know how you can go on the IRS and calculate like what your tax return or how much you might owe on taxes. I was really scared that we were going to owe a ton, but I calculated it and it could be wrong, but it says we're going to get like $4,000 back.
I've never gotten that kind of tax return.
Last year, I think we paid $2,000. So
what?
Yeah, because it's a whole thing. I don't think we have time to go into it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Anyway, I'm hoping to have a windfall of cash come tax season.
I always brace myself.
I've never had it where I didn't get money back until
Me either.
This year, the pandemic year, and I was shook.
Yeah. I always brace myself. I'm the kind of person who hopes for the best and prepares for the worst.
Yeah, that's probably smart.
Well,
anyway,
this week in
groceries,
Bachelor news,
taxes, cars,
adult things. We're such
people
adults.
Are like, please get on with it. We're here to listen to Bachelor.
Bachelor news. I have a couple of things to report. Crystal Nielsen from Ari Arendijk season, she is pregnant. You may remember Crystal. She was on Ari season, and then she was on Bachelor in Paradise, where she got engaged to Chris Randone.
Right.
They got married shortly after and were married for less than a year. They got divorced. The divorce isn't even final yet. Oh. Actually. Wow. And it's because of the pandemic, because of how the pandemic has affected the court system.
Yeah, they probably just can't go in to finalize everything.
Yes. I watched her video on the explanation.
Oh.
So they've been separated since January. Since then, she's been dating someone. I don't know for how long, at least a few months. And she's now, I believe, 20 weeks pregnant.
Okay, so she's far.
Halfway.
She's halfway.
And
so she got pregnant I'm really bad at
during
math.
The quarantine.
So
baby. Summertime.
So she got separated in January and then got pregnant
in June, according to the timeline.
That's a whirlwind.
Chris Randone's not taking it well, of course. He's kind of a dramatic dude anyways. I'm not a fan of Chris Randone.
I honestly don't remember him. I know he's problematic, though.
I know on Becca Kufrin's he was a gaslighter, so I'm not a fan. He did redeem himself a little bit with Crystal, but
clearly it didn't work out.
Second point of news, another baby news. Jade and Tanner, who are alumni from Paradise, they met on Paradise, and they just had their third baby.
Oh yeah, I knew she was. I didn't realize when she was due, but congrats to her.
Yeah. Do you want to know a fun fact about their baby name?
Yes, I do.
They did a social media baby name bracket and had the public have input on what they named their baby.
I do not like that.
Now, I don't know if the ultimate pick was like the public pick, but it was in the bracket. The baby's name is Reed.
Okay, well, that's not a bad name.
No.
Is it a girl or a boy?
I believe it's a boy.
I like gender ambiguous
Yeah.
names like that. I think, but yeah, that's
So they're big on doing some weird stuff on social media, including the baby name bracket. And they've also gotten in trouble with the law with some of the stuff they've done on social media.
Why?
Like, they cheated on like fantasy football
Oh my
in a fantasy
gosh.
football league, and
What? How do
yeah,
you
it was
even,
a whole lawsuit.
How do you even cheat?
I'm not sure. I think it was because Jade had an account and Tanner had an account, and then they based their decisions off what the other person chose.
And that's cheating.
And well, they were trying to maximize their chances of winning by choosing different things.
Oh, but
they were working together on it, and you're not supposed to do that.
Oh,
I don't know a whole lot about fantasy
I wouldn't
football,
have known that you're not supposed to do that.
But they literally had to give up like a $100,000 cash prize that they won from fantasy football.
That's very uncomfortable. All
So-
of this is very weird.
And Tanner does some weird stuff on social media. Like
I like
calls,
Jade.
Jade is great. Tanner like calls out people and starts fights with people he's never met from Bachelor Nation based on what he's just watched on TV.
He's strange.
He's strange. But Jade is a boss. I mean, she gave birth to her to baby number
In the
2 in her
closet.
closet.
Yeah. Wow.
If you don't know about that, look that up.
Yeah, that's nuts.
But that's all I have for Bachelor news this week. Lots of baby news.
Congrats.
Oh, Crystal has also already started a glitter baby Instagram account for her baby.
Okay, what do you... I think I probably already know, but what do you think about people creating Instagram accounts for their babies and children and pets?
I like pets. I don't like people creating money from their babies.
I don't even really love pet
Like,
accounts. Just post that on your normal feed.
One of my banes of my existence is family vlogs. Family vlog accounts I absolutely hate because
But what if the kids like it?
they don't even know if they do like it because they're basically told to do it. They're not old enough to really consent to that kind of content. And then by the time they get to working age, they have all this content online from them, about themselves that they didn't
That's
even have
true.
to have a voice in.
I feel like if I was a kid, though, I would love to have a vlog because I would love to just see myself. I was just like that as a kid.
But that's what home videos are. You just
But
don't
I
go
would
to them
want, if I
online.
had the opportunity for people to see it, I would want them to.
As a parent, I would not allow it because there's a bunch of nasties out there.
Yeah. It's definitely controversial, and
Yeah.
I personally would not do it.
Yeah, let's just stick to home videos, y'all. But people who make money off their children, not a fan of. Like Lauren Lorendijk had her baby do a like parody skincare routine video, and then she had her baby
How old is
also
her
model
baby?
like under 2, and then her baby also modeled in her clothing line for a fashion show for her clothing line.
Oh.
It's just problematic in my opinion.
Well, if it's her mom's own clothing line that she created inspired by her daughter, that makes sense.
It wasn't inspired by her daughter.
Oh.
She just used her baby for attention.
Oh, man.
There's no ifs, ands, or
I
buts
don't
about
have a
it.
kid, so I don't even know.
I don't think baby Instagram accounts are trouble.
We can agree on that.
Trouble.
Not that I disagreed
I have a whole
with
soapbox I
anything.
can keep going on.
I didn't disagree with anything you were saying. I'm just saying, like, everyone should agree that no baby should have an Instagram.
Yeah.
Period.
Yes.
The end.
As
Next.
far as yes, I can go into depth about the pet thing, but I won't for now.
Okay,
Another
fair
time.
enough.
Okay, let's dive into the episode.
Yeah, I'm excited. I want to talk about it. I feel like I say that every time, but I'm
Let's
just
talk about it.
okay.
I love how at the beginning Ed says that the group date they're about to go on is, quote, a rebirth.
Foreshadowing.
It is. Wow.
Do you think he said it before or after? Like, and they just
Oh,
edited
I'm
it?
believing that this is before. I
Okay.
have high hopes.
The only thing that I can think about right now is the men oiled and wrestling. So now I'm
get to it.
confused what the first date was.
The first date was the Are we going to say it?
I don't understand why we couldn't. It's just, we're just saying what they said.
Yeah. So it's the grown-ass man challenge.
Okay, but here's the thing. One, how many times did you think you heard the phrase grown-ass man?
118 times.
I
want to, you know who's going to have a tally? Game of Roses.
Yeah, they definitely will. We need to check on that. But the funny thing is, every contestant said grown-ass man challenge, like, or just the phrase grown-ass man throughout the episode a million times.
Even after the challenge was over.
Which was super annoying because what does that even mean? But also the cards and like the data or signs or whatever, all of it said grown man. They didn't put ass in there.
Maybe because they would have to blur it out. I don't know.
But they were saying it.
I thought the chalkboard said it.
No, it just said grown man.
Okay.
I'm like 90% sure.
I'll have to look that up.
And then they had like little like cue cards that they were reading from.
Yeah.
Also just said grown man.
Interesting.
I just thought that was weird.
But I did love that Ashley I and Jared made an appearance. I also love that Ashley I is still referred to as Ashley I. Because
she will always be Ashley I.
She can't just be Ashley.
Jared needs to cut his hair, but
I liked it.
No, not into it. Sorry. No.
Okay.
He needs to cut it. But I love seeing them because
they're a great couple.
Still happy for them. I love their love story. And also I just love seeing Ashley I because every time I see her, I think of the 2-on-1 date with her and Kelsey. And
Kelsey was the worst.
She was the worst. And I think of Ashley standing alone on the island and the helicopter flying away. That was like classic TV.
Can we talk about how her makeup look has completely changed from her Crystal season?
Yeah, didn't she wear like dark eyeshadow?
She had
stuff?
like winged eyeliner.
Yeah, she was very intense. I feel like she really came into her own.
Yes.
So it's always nice to see her grace our screens.
Yes.
But wait, before they even come on the screen, they have this prolonged shot of a mannequin.
Yes, I have the quote. Do you want the quote?
Yeah, I want the quote.
This is the story of one woman and her quest for love. She's been through it all, and she knows what she's looking for. She's looking for a man. She's looking for a grown-ass man.
10 of 10 reenactment.
And that mannequin also was like twice the size of an actual human.
That was...
Because Jared walks out and I'm like, wait a second.
Like 5 feet shorter than him.
Yes.
That was one of the weirdest things I've seen on this season
and
so far.
And it wasn't Chris... It didn't sound like Chris Harrison's voice.
No, it was Ashley I and
it was
Jared
their voices.
It, yeah.
Yes. Good note.
Anyway, that was weird. I mean, that was weird, right?
It was weird.
Okay. But it was hilarious. I loved it. I lived for it.
First they have the spelling and math challenge. Bennett is hype because he's a Harvard graduate, which immediately when they showed that, I said, this isn't going well.
This is... Okay, do you think this is a setup? It has to be, right?
I mean...
I will say, okay, so he starts...
What do you mean a setup?
Because he starts getting all the questions wrong for like the spelling and the math.
But are you saying him being hype is a setup? Or
I just think the whole thing, I'm smelling some producer meddling.
I don't know. It would also require Bennett being a great actor.
I don't put that past him. He is a man of many talents. A
I
Renaissance man, if you will.
Up.
Also, I was thinking about, because obviously he talks about how he went to Harvard. I was thinking about the fact that in high school, I actually ordered a sweatshirt that said Harvard on Amazon my senior year, back when Amazon first became a thing. And I wore it to school every day. And
every day?
Okay, not every day. I wasn't one of those people who just wore the same thing every day.
I was.
But somehow I sensed that about you. I don't mean that in a bad way, but like...
There's no good way.
But
it was only in middle school.
Yeah, I get that. This was in high school. I ordered a sweatshirt, said Harvard, and many people thought I was actually going there.
Because you're smart.
I just did it to be fun.
No one would think I was actually going there.
Not that smart. people knew my SAT
We had
score.
one kid 1 year get into Harvard. He didn't go because it was too expensive. He just wanted to know if he could get in.
Sure.
And
Must be nice.
That made the news. But he just got in. But I do want to talk about for a moment the wearing things every day.
Okay.
In middle school, I was a very chunky kid, incredibly chunky. Like, I have very few photos from that era. I was pushing 200 pounds in middle school.
No way.
And I was also very short. So, like, I wasn't to my full height yet. So I was under 5 feet, or right at 5 feet. I was at least 180 pounds at that time. Which, like, as an adult, that's fine.
Sure.
But as a middle schooler, that's tough. And I only had a few shirts that I felt comfortable in. And so I wore them all the time. And I just like washed them in the sink and put them in the dryer and then wear them again. And then my mom had to be like, you have to stop wearing the same shirt over and over because people are going to think you don't have any clothes. Oh, no. And you do.
Okay, well, to be fair, I wear the same stuff a lot now too. Because
I do now, but
just
not like that. These had like holes in the armpits.
Yeah,
Things were happening.
when I was in middle school, I wore a Washington Huskies gray sweatshirt every single day.
Yeah, this was
and
just
it wasn't even, I don't.
This was a SpongeBob shirt with his face on it.
Oh, no.
And then a tie-dye peace sign shirt. Those were the two shirts I wore over and over. And then I usually would wear...
That's iconic.
I'd wear this like periwinkle blue zip-up jacket over, and I would zip it to the very top.
Periwinkle had such a moment.
It's still happening. It's back.
But, you know, it was just a really big color in that.
Sure.
In the 2008s.
Also brown.
And also gray.
And bright pink.
Wait, you're right. Brown
and pink combo.
Brown gauchos.
Let's move on.
Okay.
I can't get into gauchos. Another time.
We don't have the emotional bandwidth to talk about gauchos.
Not right now, at least.
Okay, you're right. We're in the weeds already.
What I want to say about I don't want to go into detail about all the questions Bennett got wrong. What I want to know is Bennett is a wealth management advisor. Math is important, I assume, in that
arena, career.
Also, I wanted to hear, so he kind of got nitpicky and said if the question was worded better, it would have been a different answer, or like his answer that he had given. And I wanted to hear that explanation. What was the wording problem in the question?
I don't know.
I wanted to know.
I don't think there was one. I think he didn't write any math down. He did it in his head.
No, he's flipped his board around. There was clearly working out.
I'm just going to go back to the fact that I think it was a setup.
Okay.
That will be my defense.
Oops. Then we have our tug of war. And Joe says, I'm excited to show her how grown my ass is.
That was spicy.
That was great.
That was very... Where did they get that rope that they tied around everyone?
That rope,
waists?
I was worried about everyone's spinal alignment during this time. Like, I was like, where's the chiro on site? I need a on-site chiropractor for these men during this episode.
There was a lot of that in this episode where I just thought, how did they do this and expect people to not get hurt?
They always have medic nearby.
Yeah, but that just because you have a medic doesn't mean that you should throw caution to the wind. I mean,
they signed their life away. They've basically agreed that if anything happens on the show, that the show is not like responsible.
Oh, sure.
Also, Bennett has a football injury.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted more context for that.
Did he play football?
Bennett seems like the type of guy that would call soccer football.
Agreed.
100%. And soccer's a rough game. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, soccer, it's hard on the body, but so is football. We need to find out more about that.
Do you have anything else to say about the tug of war portion of the date?
Well, isn't this where the Ed Chasen rivalry really spices up because Ed goes against Chasen, right?
No, Ed and Ben go against each other.
Oh, but then Chasen calls Ed's legs chicken legs.
Later on in the nighttime portion.
But he's referencing this.
Yes, because Ben absolutely whipped him around.
To be fair, Ed does look like a dog getting yanked on a leash.
He was being whipped around.
Also, that bouquet was the ugliest bouquet I've ever seen in my life.
I don't even know what flowers were in it.
I don't know either, but it looked fake and ugly.
It was yellow.
It was a medium yellow cream type of thing.
Yeah.
It was funny though to watch that.
Yeah, I think I wasn't that entertained by the tug of war other than Ed being absolutely thrashed around.
Yeah,
he had some whiplash.
That was
after
brutal.
That.
Okay. And so then they transition
to the breakfast in bed challenge,
which I love that they were like they walk like 5 feet from like the one area of the conference room to the other area of the conference room, and then they're like, "Welcome to the breakfast in bed challenge," and you're like, "Okay, well, we were already here."
I know it was. This was my favorite part of the challenge, actually.
That room also was. Where were they?
I mean, they decorated it to make it look like an office. They had filing cabinets and charts on the wall.
It looked like when you would divide the gym in half.
Yeah,
it was that type of wall.
But they definitely had some sort of set in mind because they were talking about.
Yeah, they were going for a theme. Yeah, like a classroom.
They were going for classroom theme was the theme.
And then we transitioned to the bed area.
Okay, so this is where things got interesting for me. First off, have you ever been served breakfast in bed before?
Now that you mention it, I don't know if I have.
Okay.
I think I've been I think I've been brought coffee in bed, and Nate makes breakfast for me a lot of days. So
he is a chef. I mean, not technically, but he's a great cook.
He is a professional chef.
He has an apron. That says "Kiss the Nate" on it.
Yeah, it's an apron that used to. Well, it still says "Kiss the Cook," and he took a Sharpie and he
did it himself.
Yeah, and he scratched out.
I thought someone else.
No. He bought his own apron that said "Kiss the Cook." He got a Sharpie. He scratched out the word "cook" and he wrote the word.
Beth,
Nate.
that makes it even funnier to me.
Are you surprised?
No, but I'm glad that I thought it was something else, and now now I know what really happened, and now it's funnier.
Yeah, it was all his brainchild.
I can totally see that.
Yes. So I will say I get breakfast made for me quite a lot, but I like to get out of bed basically immediately when I get up.
Okay.
Like I don't love to lounge in bed. So I'm not against it, but
food in bed is strange.
I'm assuming you've had breakfast in bed?
Only a couple of times because typically I do make the breakfast.
Yes. Is Cam's not as much of a cook?
But he has brought me cheese toast.
Well, that's all you really need.
It is. It's not a regular thing, but he has done it before. I don't expect it, but it is nice. But oftentimes I am the first one up, so it doesn't really naturally lend itself to happening. Okay, if I was in Tayshia's position on this date, I would be judging not only on the food selection, but on the plating. I need bold plating. I need a jam schmear. I need a rainbow of colors. I need a variety of colors.
Yes, it's gotta look aesthetic because part of having breakfast in bed is taking a picture of it and showing it to everybody.
Or at least just keeping it to yourself.
Sure, either one.
To capture the memory.
So people are making a bunch of different stuff to bring to Tayshia for her breakfast in bed. Someone is making eggs and bacon that I swear to you is plastic.
That bacon didn't look real.
I think it might have been turkey bacon or something.
Probably. Tayshia would eat turkey bacon.
Yeah, I mean.
I'm not a bacon fan myself.
Oh, I love bacon.
I just don't like how it stinks up the house.
Yeah, Nate made bacon. He made bacon to put on top of some leftover vegetarian enchiladas that I made today.
Defeats the purpose.
For lunch, and it still smells like bacon.
Yeah, I don't like the lingering smell. But what I want to say here, there is some interesting interpretations of this challenge. I'm going to be bashing on Chasen a lot this episode. And this is where we start.
Warning Chasen fans, if there are any.
I absolutely hated this. I'm going to be the main course poop.
That was stupid. If you're going to do that, then at least still bring food.
At least bring the food to be eaten off of you.
Sure.
They're not there yet, but I'm just saying, like, the food needs to be...
There needs to be food. That's what breakfast in bed is.
That was...
If you're hungry, then...
You know what that was, though? It was lazy. It was...
It was like, I'm trying to think of... it was like, okay, when in The Office... Sorry, everyone. There's a lot of Office references in this podcast. So if you don't watch it, I'm sorry. But it was like in The Office when there's the job fair and Michael brings the blank sheet of paper as their only advertisement for Dunder Mifflin because it's like simple and
but
what they do best.
But that was at least him being imaginative. Chasen was being lazy. Michael had a purpose behind the one piece of paper.
I'm just saying it is on that level, or it's on the level of, I thought of another good example, but I forgot it. But you're right.
It was absolutely lazy, and it's something that only someone who looks like Chasen can get away with.
This is the thing. Chasen, you bring up a good point. I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. Thus far, especially from what we see in the episode, Chasen is riding purely on looks. That is what he is.
He has
said
absolutely nothing to impress me. Zero. And we'll get into it more. Let's talk about Bennett.
Yeah, let's talk about
Bennett with the bougie beignets and the robe.
Yeah, he says that he brings Tayshia. We also get a shot of him making a smoothie, which I'm a fan of. I love smoothies. We love a
smoothie moment.
I eat smoothies a lot for breakfast, so that would have gone over well with me. But he says his beignet is from Chateau Benet. I
loved it. I loved it.
I must go to Chateau Bennett at some point in my life. I hope this becomes a real place that I can attend.
A theme park?
Yes. Yes.
Where you can ride in a shoe.
Bennett, if you are listening, which I know you are not, please, first of all, make a closet tour. Second, make a spin-off show called Bennett in New York. Third, make a theme park. Call it Chateau Bennett. There'll be plenty of people that visit it.
Yes. I want a ride where I can ride in a loafer.
A large
leather
boat-sized
leather loafer Lollapalooza.
Gold.
He kisses her on the cheek. We get a cutscene of Ashley I and Jared, and Ashley sneezes and says she got tested. And I love this shot because I feel like it's very it shows a side of their relationship that we didn't really get to see like on Paradise very much.
But it's like if you follow them on social media, it's very on brand for who they truly are.
Yeah.
I liked that too.
I liked that. I wish we had gotten some more of those moments.
Yes. So Bennett does well in this because he ends up winning.
Yeah, he gets the grown-ass man.
Which again, what does that even mean? But okay.
I mean, I probably would have picked him out of that group to get that.
Yeah.
But what did you think about him planting one on Tayshia right there?
That wasn't a good look. I'll admit it.
She was not ready for that.
But it spins Chasen into a spiral. And
if he wasn't spiraling enough already.
When Chasen is the one who took off all his clothes except his apron. And then he's like, Bennett's not classy, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Chasen, please look in the mirror. And what I was thinking while he was doing his rant is that Chasen doesn't like Bennett because Chasen usually pulls the moves that Bennett is pulling.
Yeah.
And he's only pissed because he wasn't the one to do it.
He's a sore loser.
Yeah, he's so...
Because you can see later when he wins on the other date that he's on cloud 9.
And no one cares.
No.
Ugh.
Also, Ed gets the Man-Child Award. What I loved about this part was, well, he did it. He received it in stride, number 1. Number 2, Tayshia says, I expect this child to have a name by tonight. And before she even finishes saying that, he says, Carlos.
He's like, I already obviously thought of a name. Just
it's like he imprinted on the child and they had a connection.
He instantly bonded with it.
So I did love the Carlos feature throughout the night, though. I love that he leaned into it.
It finally makes sense why we've been seeing a baby in all these
It's
promos.
better than my theory of it there being a baby date.
Yeah, that was way better. It's funny because, Ed really did embrace it. And then I think we get a cutscene after that says, or where Ed is saying that Chasen is more or less an actor in his mind.
He's a terrible actor. He has the acting skills of Nick Viall.
You're right. He's not. He's a bad actor.
He has a monotone voice. I guess because I'm not someone who would be considered, quote, mainstream marketedly attractive like Chasen is. And I just know how much has he gotten away with in his life because
he looks the way
he looks the way.
But if you look at him long enough, it almost gets kind of freaky. I mean, just like, you can't.
He just looks like Zac Efron, which no shade to Zac Efron.
He does not look like Zac Efron.
He has the same type of look. This all-American
but Zac
high
Efron's
school quarterback. I'm not saying they look the same.
Okay, I'm just saying he's cuter.
He is.
Okay. I'm glad we agree.
I'm not saying they're on the same level.
I feel very defensive about Zac Efron.
I understand. He's aged well.
Crush.
I'm just saying that they're cut not from the same cloth, but a similar cloth.
So we go to the night portion of the date.
Yes.
After this,
Bennett is still in the robe. Good move, in my opinion. I liked the robe move.
I thought it was funny.
Chasen absolutely hated it.
Jason's like, "You're so dumb. I can't believe you're wearing a robe." When he moments earlier was in an apron.
What I hated was that Chasen does this thing where he tries to psych people out, but he's really bad at it. Like he goes over to Bennett and is like, "That kiss was so uncomfortable, not a good look." And I was like, Bennett's clearly not bothered by this at all.
No, Bennett doesn't give a crap.
But let's see. Oh, Chasen goes and talks to Tayshia. And I just get the vibe that he's just utterly and completely self-absorbed. He's the type that's like, I want to learn more about you. I want to know what makes Tayshia Tayshia.
And then the whole time in his head, he's thinking, I'm so awesome for
But then he doesn't ask a single question.
Yeah.
He just talks about what he wants to do, and then he doesn't do it.
That's such a good point, Kara. Which, I mean, hey, we're all self-absorbed. We're all thinking about ourselves, but
I'm not a fan.
I agree.
Then Tayshia and Ben talk, which was a great moment.
Yeah, and I love Tayshia asked Ben how and why he's single. And I'm like, same. Why is Ben single?
I had that question. The biggest time I ever had that question was, on Rachel Lindsay's season with Brian, because that was when they were still doing a lot of young guys. Brian was, I think, 37 or 38 on that season, which in Bachelor years
is ancient.
It's not ancient to us, but it's ancient in Bachelor years. Yeah, I said to us. But that was one where I was like, okay, how is he single? Because he seems like a great guy, but usually great guys get snatched up.
Right. As they should.
I think that question can be good and bad. It needs to be used selectively.
I think the way she said it was flattering.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying, because if you say it in the wrong context, it puts something on the other person like, oh yeah, what is wrong with me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But his explanation was good of...
What was his explanation?
Well, he was saying that he was in a couple really serious relationships, and then he was in one until about 2 years ago, and he thought that was the one that he was going to be in forever. And when that ended, he just didn't really know what to do with himself, so he didn't really try, and didn't feel like he could feel those feelings again.
Okay.
But then he said, that stuff I didn't know I could feel, I'm feeling it now with you. So I think some of what we see later in this episode with him, I think it puts that into perspective, knowing that that's where he's coming from.
Next we have the Ivan moment with the blindfold and the strawberries.
What
did you think about this?
I wish that hadn't happened, if I'm being honest with you.
I'm feeling a lot of really strong emotions tonight.
What do you despise?
I despise the blindfold moments.
Okay. on national TV. That's just
that's something that you do like behind closed doors if you're gonna do it at all.
I'm not
or
saying
on the way to a surprise party,
or when you're trying to hit a piñata,
or
break
like
that blindfold.
You're
out.
giving someone a puppy.
Ooh, that's a good. But they were having a good moment, but then the blindfold thing really threw me for a loop.
Blindfold first kisses are also a no to me.
Yeah, it reminds me of the first kiss story I was telling you where I couldn't see anything.
No.
And it's not romantic. I will tell you that right now.
Maybe all this is rooted in a childhood experience that I had. So when I was a child, I promise this is short.
Okay,
when I was a child,
share.
I was in my kitchen and I wasn't blindfolded, but my brother told me to cover my eyes and to close my eyes and to open my mouth.
Oh no.
And
this cannot be going somewhere good.
He put kibble in my mouth. He put dog food in my mouth.
Oh my god.
And of course I didn't chew it and swallow it because I knew exactly what it was the second he put it in my mouth.
That's so mean. Brothers.
I mean, he was quite young. We were not teens by any means. I think I was at the most 6 or 7.
Letting someone that's the thing. Letting someone blindfold you and then just put stuff in your mouth is big trust.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a big trust, and I don't think doing it this early is appropriate.
Yeah, I feel like Ivan was just trying to do something memorable, and I can definitely see this as something that he maybe mentioned in passing to a producer, and then they really hyped it up and got him all the stuff to do it. They're like, yeah, Ivan, you got to do the blindfold thing. She's going to love it. But it was kind of weird. And they showed a shot of the strawberries that he fed her, and they were looking wilted.
Oh no! They needed an ice bath.
Yeah,
I hear if you give them an ice bath, it helps them.
Well, that's what they needed because they were looking old and gross. And then
they have a strawberry guy, and they were.
And then I felt like
end of the season.
I felt like watching their kiss was weird. And then Tayshia takes the blindfold off to keep kissing him. I'm like, see, she didn't like it. She didn't keep it on.
This season, they're big on blindfolds. They did it with Claire too. With the
and that was too much. That was way too much. I don't want to think about that anymore.
Okay, let's move on because I do want to talk about Ed for a second because when they first gave Ed the baby, he was mishandling it and she was like, "You have to support its head." We cut to Ed. He's clearly taking better care of Carlos now. They've connected on another level. And then this is when the Bennett and Chasen tension and the Ed tension begins.
Ugh. Which Bennett is like, it's fringe that Bennett is involved. Like, he's not.
Well, Bennett did start the conversation, and then it somehow became a Chasen and Ed thing. I don't know.
I don't know either. The whole time it was
stirred the pot and then ran away.
Yeah. He set a bomb and then ran out of the room.
Did you see how Chasen was sitting in this scene? He had his ankle on his knee, and his knee was above his head. And I put down, Chasen is the guy who gets on a full flight and man spreads and does not give a single poop.
Yes, that's so true.
He doesn't care if his physical position is making anyone else feel uncomfortable.
Which we see multiple times.
And this is a cross-country flight I'm referring to. This is not a, Seattle to Portland flight.
He's the one who sticks his whole leg into the aisle. And then when you walk by, he doesn't care if you trip.
You know those flight attendants despise that.
And then, they're like, hey, we got to get by here with this cart. And then they roll over his toe and he gets pissed.
Oh, I guess that's okay. And then he slowly moves his leg out of the aisle.
This whole thing, though, when it starts happening, I'm just like, why is this happening? This is so...
And also, why does Chasen have to bring up that his nickname is Wolverine? With zero context.
It's like, you can't just say your nickname is Wolverine and not explain why, because that means that it's very likely that you just gave yourself that nickname.
Yes.
And there's no reason for it.
He just walked into the room one day and was like, hey guys, it's Wolverine.
Yeah, what did he say? He's like, the second part of what he said is, although I like to call myself Wolverine.
Yikes.
There was a first part of it.
I didn't
but
catch
I don't remember the first part.
I was too over him. Chasen has the playground, like, trash talk abilities of an 8-year-old. Because he calls Ed chicken legs. I'm not saying this is untrue.
Yeah, Ed is top heavy. I'll say
but he's
that.
It's a low blow and not smart.
And it shows that Chasen spends a lot of time thinking about his body in relation to other people's bodies.
Yes. As someone who, I have so many, like, I'm that person who has a lot of ammunition but does not use it on people.
Right. You're restrained.
restrained. My Scorpio is like, I have these at the ready. But what other parts of my star sign? I guess, what are the parts of my star sign? My Aquarius is probably like, hold back, Kara. That's not diplomatic enough. Yeah. You need to be nice.
My Libra is like, be chill. But then my Aries rising is like, go for it. Insult them, why don't you?
That's why we have this podcast.
Usually I end up insulting people, but trying to make it sound funny.
I just insult people to Cam.
In the safe space.
And then I'm like, this doesn't leave here. Then Ed tattles on Chasen.
Yeah, how do you feel? This always...
Tattling's never a good look.
And it's always interesting to see how each lead will handle it.
And how it affects, like, their perspective of that cast member.
Yeah, because some people, like, it'll really backfire and they'll be like, well, why are you bringing this up? Why are you making it about someone else?
I think Tayshia's perspective is she's glad that someone's bringing it up, but she's not interested in Ed at all.
No, she's not. Ed is there because of the producers.
He's a resource.
He is a source of information.
Yes.
And nothing more.
Which every lead needs.
Sure.
For a period of time.
Yeah.
I love how when she goes to Chasen, it's just a jumble of cliches. Like, I feel a connection with you, a spark, a vibe. And then I love how,
that's what Chasen says, right?
Yeah. It's a jumble of cliches.
He says, because, okay, we have to recap what happened. Just in case.
Ed goes to Tayshia and complains.
About Chasen.
About Chasen being aggressive. And then Tayshia goes straight to the source, goes to Chasen. And he goes into this, he literally derails or tries to derail the conversation by being like, I'm trying to grow my relationship with you.
I feel like he pulls the, let's not waste time on this type of thing. Says he's vibing with her.
But then he promptly goes to Ed and gets really angry. He does that thing where he's standing up and Ed's sitting down, so he's talking down to Ed, literally and figuratively. And I love how he says, "You're sabotaging my relationship," which is just code for my chance to have more screen time.
Yeah.
And to hopefully get SpawnCon.
Yeah, and it's funny because I don't know. I guess I have more thoughts.
Did you catch how Chasen was so appalled by Ed saying he wore a medium shirt?
He said schmedium.
A small medium.
Yeah. He's like, it's a large.
I think he was just trying to say, dude, your shirt's really tight.
Chasen's like, I like it that way.
Oh my gosh.
I think Chasen's trying to be like, I wear a large and it's still this small of me.
That was a good line just for a meme, but I hated that he was so angry about it.
Yeah, and I love that when Chasen comes to confront Ed just doubles down. He's like, okay, well, it's
entertainment to Ed.
Ed thrives off of it.
Yeah.
What's that Enneagram? Because
probably an 8.
But do you think Ed is an 8 though? I guess
because Ed is an 8. Yeah, I do.
Do you think Chasen is too? No, I think he cares about how people
I think Chasen's a 3.
Him. I was about to say that.
Because he cares about his image.
Yeah, that was really funny when Chasen, like you said, tries to do this 8-year-old intimidation thing, and it's like
chicken legs.
It's like, cool. I'm gonna take care of my child.
I know. He's so incredibly awkward, and well, I guess we'll wrap up this date because
okay. And then Spencer and Tayshia eat popsicles.
Yeah.
Joe and Tayshia
have like a poke
Bowl.
and talk about their families, talk about their ethnic backgrounds.
Yes. And Bennett brings the Eiffel Tower to Tayshia.
We needed more of that.
We only get like 2 seconds of that.
I needed them to share a plate of spaghetti.
Oh, yeah, a little Lady in the Tramp
moment.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Damar shares a poem with Tayshia while wearing the salmon jacket, which also appears next week because we saw it in the promo.
I'm convinced Montel brought this jacket, and Damar's wearing it here.
Is Montel going to take it home? I think Easy.
Oh, wait.
I think Easy brought it. Montel wore it.
But Montel wore it on when he entered.
Oh. Well, there must be two.
Because it does show up next week. I made a note that it shows up next week.
So
you're right. It must be someone else's.
Yeah, and then I think we also cut to Ed and Bennett just having a moment laughing about who Chasen is as a person. And they're really feeling each other, which made me think of how Bennett said in an interview, like, that we'll see more of Ed as the season goes on and that he's really funny.
Yeah, I do think Ed is funny. I think he thrives.
I don't think he's hilarious.
No, he just thrives on making people squirm. But I do want to talk about Chasen's communication style for a second because to me,
wait. I forgot that Chasen and Tayshia talked twice.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to get into.
Okay.
So, because when he talks to her the second time, he comes back and does this speech about like how he's the bigger man and how he's moving on. And then he goes to Ed and says, "Do you have anything to get off your chest, Ed?" Here's my thing about this communication style. What evidence do we have that he doesn't communicate this way in a romantic relationship? To me, it's a red flag.
Yeah, because basically what happened was Ed said something mildly offensive about Chasen. Chasen freaked out and said all these weird platitudes to Tayshia that obviously did not quell her concerns. And then Chasen tries to retroactively fix his behavior by talking to Ed and then ends up just getting mad again.
And doesn't apologize for anything.
No.
It's not, nothing's
No,
his fault.
he basically like tries to do something that he thinks is quote unquote mature after he talks to Tayshia.
Speeches are mature.
Yeah, to get in her good graces again.
Making toasts are mature.
And then obviously Ed's not buying it.
Yeah.
Because it is all very stiff and acting-ish. And they're having, Chasen and Ed are like having their moment out in the courtyard. And it doesn't seem to be going anywhere.
Did you notice how once Ed brought up that he was saying the same things about Tayshia he was saying about Claire, that he immediately pivoted to the smoke show term?
Yeah. He was like, oh, I'm saying the same things? Okay, let me think of a new word.
Calculating.
Yeah.
Smoke show.
He's like, I'm saying the same things about both women. Therefore, I will think of one term to describe Tayshia with and say it for the rest of the time I'm on the season.
So the second time that the fight boils over, Zach C comes up and says, "I could care less," which the real term is I couldn't care less.
I'm so glad you said that because when people say I could care less and they mean I couldn't care less, that is one of my top 5 pet peeves.
Really?
Because I could care less. Think about what you're saying.
I know.
That means that you care, but you could care even less is the opposite of what you're trying to say. You're trying to say, I care so little about this that I could not care any less.
But it has
it is my pet peeve.
Obviously, none of the men picked up on that because it had the effect that it needed to have.
Not even, was Bennett over there? Harvard man?
I don't even
he should know this.
He's on a bad...
Kenny was over there, and I'm going to tell you right now that Kenny did
does
not
know.
Kenny was just bopping around barely in the peripheral, so...
Well, speaking of Zach C, shortly after him and Tayshia have a moment, I'm telling you, Zach C, he is a man. I believe that. He also does, similar to Chasen, he always has an interesting sitting position. He's always like cross-legged, and then he has like an arm reaching across that's touching Tayshia.
At one point when they were sitting on the couch talking, he was like slouched.
He slouches and then looks up, which is a good selfie angle, the aerial view.
Yeah, but not a side view.
No, and the slouching's never a good look. And
I
know that as a sloucher.
I slouch.
As a sloucher who's been photographed while slouching. Not a good look. But they had a great conversation. and a great kiss.
Oh, wait, so this is a cocktail party.
No, this is a group date. No, wait, this is cocktail party. Jeez Louise.
So, yeah. So at some point we've transitioned from talking about the after the group date to
there was some quick transition from the group date
because
the cocktail party.
Because right after this we go into the rose ceremony.
When did the transition happen? I'm not worried about this anymore.
I don't know.
There was a short transition, but the conversation was the same.
That's why it's confusing, because they basically had the same conversation.
It was an intermission.
5 times.
It was like round 2. Ding, ding, ding.
Yep.
But yeah, we do have a rose ceremony.
Which
Montel, Jay, and Peter go home. Which Montel and Peter were both newbies. They were probably there for 48 hours.
sad for them.
So bye.
And they show a shot of Riley during the beginning of the rose ceremony, and he looks like he is about to fall asleep.
He does have
his eyes were
when he's resting. His eyes are very much.
His eyes were like 1/8 of the way open.
Yeah.
I was like, can you even see anything?
It probably was a late night though.
Yeah, probably.
Something I want to know is after the rose ceremony, the next day, we've had Chasen make fun of Ed and his chicken legs, and the next day Ed is doing arm workouts. Yeah. It's arm day again.
Ed's face when he was doing those workouts,
shoulder, like the trap workouts.
Are you okay?
It was a really strenuous workout.
Also, so obviously Chasen and Ed both get roses. We're not surprised.
Gotta keep the drama.
Yeah, you're gonna keep the people who are stirring the pot.
She's still attracted to Chasen. I just don't see how.
No, but Chasen says after that he gets a rose that he showed his true emotions with his words.
When? Oh, the smoke show thing. Jeez Louise.
Like if those are the words that show your emotions, then you have very little emotions.
You know what happened in high school? I can tell you what happened in high school. He was in an English class. The teacher had the hots for him. He wrote some stupid haiku for poetry day. Mm-hmm. And she gave him all the gold stars for it because he's hot. Which I'm not even attracted to him. I'm just saying he's
objectively hot. I'm not attracted
in an American
to him.
Market kind of way.
Okay, so you know how last week you were saying if you saw Kenny in the grocery store, you would not even approach him? Mm-hmm. That's how I feel about Chasen.
I feel that way about Chasen too.
I would, if I saw him in Sprouts, I would literally be
I would leave.
Okay, but the thing is I don't even feel that strongly about him that I would leave.
No, I don't want to be around him. Bad energy. Bad aura. His aura is gray.
I would just look at him and be like, oh, it's you. And then I would keep shopping.
He's only going to Sprouts to buy whey protein.
I was going to say, here's what's in his cart.
Protein.
A huge jar of peanut butter, like 20 chicken breasts.
Grass-fed red meat.
And some protein powder. And that's it.
Cliff bars.
Yeah, sure.
Lots of vitamins that we don't
recognize. Also, he probably buys bottled water.
Ugh.
I'm sorry if you buy bottled water, but that is a bad look. Okay, for all of you who buy bottled water, let me tell you something.
The only time it's okay to buy bottled water is in Florida.
Let me tell you. Why Florida?
Because the water there sucks.
I don't know why that's getting to me really a lot. That's not what I thought you were going to say.
Okay, sorry, I derailed you. What were you going to say about bottled water? I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, man. Okay, I was just going to say, water is free. You don't need to buy it. It's free from your tap. If it tastes weird, you can get a Brita filter.
Amen.
I guess if you're in Florida, you can buy it. If you're on a road trip and you don't have access.
Sure, but on a regular basis, getting a 24-pack.
Yeah, but Chasen definitely does that.
I am so annoyed by this hypothetical statement.
This completely arbitrary statement. We have no proof
it's
of.
True. Facts.
I'm gonna ask Chasen. I'm gonna comment on his whatever his most recent post
random question. Do you buy bottled water? Of course I do.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, for sure. Smiley face.
Water bottle's a smoke show.
I do love a good Fiji water if I have to.
Like the time we went to...
We cannot get into that. Okay, wait.
All I'm going to say is one time Beth and I went out to eat with a friend pre-quarantine. This is way before quarantine. And we were like, we're going to buy Fiji water. And we had no idea it was going to be expensive because we were just treating ourselves. You still feel regret for it,
I want to tell the whole story, but I feel like it's just too much.
It is, but...
Anyway, you just need to know that...
It was a treat yourself moment. It was not
We were out to eat at a restaurant, and we got bottles of Fiji water instead of tap water, and it was $6 for each bottle.
But we would have typically gotten just the glass of water.
Yeah, that was weird. Anyway.
I want to know after the rose ceremony when the guys were doing, like, the next morning dialogue... Noah says, I'm dumbfounded that only 3 guys left. Or that only 3 guys got eliminated.
It's like, do you know how this show works?
How many people do you think get eliminated? I'm thinking that Noah thinks that it's like Survivor. That like, I know not on Survivor every day someone gets eliminated. It's like every 3 days.
Yeah.
But in our time when we're watching it seems like every day because it's every episode. So I'm thinking that Noah thinks that every day one person gets eliminated. Which would really expedite the process. It would be like 3 weeks instead of 6.
Yeah.
Noah is a wonder. He is entertaining. I'll give him that.
He's entertaining.
And he's better than Chasen, in my opinion.
Yeah, also, Chasen is 32.
What?
He's 32 years old.
I was going to say 28 max.
No, he's 32.
Like that was being complimentary.
And Ed is 36.
I believe that.
Yeah, but Chasen is 32.
No.
And him and Noah are on the same level. Noah is a step ahead of Chasen.
Yeah, because Noah's 25.
AKA
you know what I learned about Noah this week?
What?
So the traveling nurse thing we talked about?
Yeah.
We were absolutely spot on.
Oh, really?
He goes to third developing countries for short-term mission trips.
And he calls them third world countries.
He gets photos with the kids.
Oh, that is cringe.
Yeah.
And
we won't get into it now because that could be a whole podcast in itself. But that's what he does.
Of course. I knew it. We knew it.
I
don't feel bad for making fun of him.
No, me either. But he is entertaining. I'll say that.
Yeah, he is.
And he at least isn't monotone like Chasen is.
He reminds me of like the guy in your class in high school that you knew was a douche, but like you still kind of like to see what he got up to.
And he wasn't a bully.
No.
So you like laughed at his stupid jokes.
Yeah.
I thought was so funny. The next thing that he does is the date card says,
so Chris comes in with a date card.
Yeah. The guys who are going on the date are Easy, Brendan, Joe, Jordan, Spencer, Ben, Ed, and Chasen. Obviously, Ed and Chasen have to be on the date. And the date card says, I'm looking for my perfect match. And I don't know who says it. Some guy says, okay, guys, what are we doing? And Noah blurts out, puzzles!
What?
He's not even going on the date, and he's so invested in this guest.
He's so sure.
I put, who is he?
Why does he think? I guess like matches.
You're matching pieces together. I get it, but that's not the first thing that should come to mind.
What is he envisioning? That they're all gonna sit around and do a puzzle?
I did watch a YouTube video the other day of competitive jigsaw puzzlers. And it was interesting to watch, but they were, they were pros.
They knew what they were doing.
Competitive
That
puzzlers.
is my nightmare. I hate puzzles.
I wish I could say I'm good at that, but...
Do you like puzzles?
I do really like puzzles. I actually was shopping for puzzles earlier today.
Ugh.
But I'm very, very picky about it. Because I like them to be like pieces of art when they're done.
Mm-hmm. I hate puzzles.
Because
once like in New Girl, when Winston like starts a puzzle... And
I love it though. That whole thing's hilarious.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm just saying, like, once I start a puzzle, okay, first I'm not good at them. But second, when I start it, I really need to finish it. So it's just like I hate doing it, but I can't stop because I have to finish it.
Yeah.
So I'm trapped.
Yeah, because it's taking up prime real estate in your house on the tables.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Who has just an abundance of
tables?
tables?
Like stuff being like where it's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
So doing a puzzle on our dining room table just...
I will say the last puzzle I did, it was during quarantine. It was a 3-day thing, but it was only because
during quarantine, anything goes.
Yeah. But puzzles on for everyone. You know who is a puzzle connoisseur? Lord.
Really?
She loves puzzles. And
that fits.
Yeah, she just really likes puzzles. Also, the guy who plays Ron Swanson, Nick Offerman, him and his wife are jigsaw puzzlers.
I can see that too. He seems like
there's a whole community.
The puzzling community. Maybe
Yes.
Noah's a part of it.
Yes. Here, you heard it here first. Okay, let's cut to the date.
Yeah.
I liked that the date featured women wrestlers as the instructors.
Me too. That was sick, honestly.
I liked that. I wanted to hear more about that.
I wanted them to put the men in the ring with the women,
I wanted
professionals.
the women to kick some booty.
Yeah, because they would destroy all of them.
You know what? I wish Tayshia would have kicked some booty.
Yeah, why didn't she let...
They would have let her. The boys would have been like,
Which
I
is
can't beat
lame,
up a
obviously.
girl.
Yeah.
I was that girl growing up that was like, that phrase bothers me. And I would fight the boys and kick them in the shins.
I respect
Till
that.
I was to an inappropriate age.
You were like 15.
I was too old. I won't get into it.
Okay. Yeah, so they have this date where they've set up a chain link fence in a dark
I'm going to talk about the chain link fence too.
black room.
When Noah comes into the black room.
It's just a black box with a mat and a chain link fence around it.
Yes. But you know who was the true highlight of this date?
Who?
Other than Brendan, who's always the highlight of everything with his adorableness.
He's so dreamy.
He is. We'll get into it. But Joe with his trash talk being like, "You're a really good guy. You have nice eyes." And his man bun was looking great. I know man buns are kind of not on trend anymore, but
I didn't love it.
I liked it.
I'm not physically attracted to Joe. It's nothing because of him. It's just my own tastes. So.
I will say this. His personality to me is what makes him like. I do think he's I think he's cute.
See, his personality to me, that's not my personality. It would be a great guy to be
go on a
friends
date with him if I was not married.
I don't think I would. But it's nothing against him. I think I'm just too cynical for him. Like,
oh, he wouldn't ask me. I'm just saying I would go.
I just
Also, did you catch Chasen's trash words? Did you catch Chasen's trash talking phrase here?
I was like, you're not gonna wake up in the morning.
He says you're not gonna wake up from this tomorrow.
Like 5 times.
He kept saying it, and I put down, so you're telling me you're gonna beat me up, but the lethal effects won't go into effect until I fall asleep. But he kept leaning into that. You're right. He said it at least
You're
3
not going to
times.
wake up tomorrow.
Like, so you're telling me that what you're going to do is not going to take effect until
You're gonna beat
several
me up.
hours from now.
You're going to beat me up. Then I'm going to go to bed. And then I'm not going to wake up.
Yeah. I don't get it.
Where did he hear that phrase?
He made that up. He's like, this is going to be the phrase for when I have my kung fu movie one day.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It reminds me of I think it's Hot Rod, where the girl does like the Tai Chi and she makes Andy Samberg's character poop himself. It's like that, but long term.
Yeah, he does something and then 5 hours later. Yeah, that's...
Yeah. But the guys getting hyped, like the ones that were in the audience, the quote live audience, that were shaking the cages, that was so awkward.
Yeah, that was weird.
Like, it almost looked like the editing was off because there was a delay, like it cut to them and then 2 seconds later they start shaking the cages.
Yeah, that was... because I liked it. So they're doing the wrestling training and then there's this spotlight on Chris and he's like, Okay, well, I guess first he tells them that they're gonna do the wrestling in front of a live audience, and then it just turns out to be the rest of the men.
It has to be.
He got me there. I thought that it was gonna be a real audience.
I was like, this is what.
So that was funny. But I liked seeing like Brendan during this, like just like the more playful side of him.
Yeah, he was being.
Where he said, I forget who he said, but. Who he said it to, but he tells Ed like, I'm gonna drink all your Red Bulls. Yes. I thought that was really funny.
And he does like the little knuckle touches.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was really cute.
That's why I think even
he can do no wrong.
Don't.
I'm gonna tell you my theory about him later.
Okay, save it for later. But that's why I think, as silly as these dates are, that's why it's fun, because you can see this side
their
of people.
Personalities.
Yeah.
I did, even though it was awkward, like the hype, the hype scenes. I did like that we saw some of the personality, like Brendan doing the fake trash talking to Ed.
Yeah.
And then, even though I dislike Chasen very much, the part where he hits his own head with his hands.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was very strange. Did I put anything else here? Also, the ginormous paintbrush for the oil.
Oh, and the oil was seriously straight out of like an oil squeezer that would be in a restaurant.
I know that you would use. You would use it at a hibachi grill.
Yes, that was exactly what I thought of. It was so strange.
So they literally went to a hibachi grill. Well, I guess they didn't, because
they went to a hibachi grill and then they went to a Home Depot to get a paintbrush.
They went to the La Quinta hibachi.
They didn't even get the nice paintbrush. Like, I've gone to buy paintbrushes at Home Depot before.
There was no soft bristles.
Yeah, and they definitely bought the one that's like 99 cents.
Yeah, the rough bristle.
Yeah, that was
very rustic.
That was also, I don't like the feeling of oil. And that was giving me the heebie-jeebies.
Because when I cook, if I get even a little bit of oil in my hands, I'm washing my hands. Just like I would if I was touching meat. Because it just feels gross.
Yeah, it's disgusting. And then we get a bunch of cutaways of the men training in their robes.
I want one of those robes.
I lived for that. That was hilarious.
And Joe, with all of his all of his ITMs, his cutscenes with the interviews, he always had the hood up.
Wait, you should say what ITM stands for.
In the moments.
Yeah, in the moments.
So he has the hood up the entire time, each time.
I loved it.
I loved it. Because he was like, I'm a lover, not a fighter. I want to send some good vibes to Ben's back here, because when he fought, I can't remember who he fought.
Okay, I wrote down each of the matches so we could talk about them. But the first one, which, also we should say, Wells comes on to call the match.
We didn't get enough of Wells.
He deserved more.
He was barely in this episode.
I love Wells. I've said it before, he's one of my favorite Bachelor Nation members.
Top 3.
Ooh, yeah. I honestly, maybe for me too. Top 3 men, probably.
Yeah.
But I always love a good Wells and Chris Harrison banter session.
Yeah, he said, thanks for letting me leave the bar for a few minutes.
That was classic. But then the first match is Joe and Easy, and Joe gets annihilated, as expected.
Yes.
And then it's Jordan versus Brendan, which that looked rough.
Jordan versus Brendan. Yeah, that was a good fight, though.
Yeah.
They I don't think it lasted.
It wasn't as one-sided, I don't think.
No, but Jordan surprised me.
And then it's Spencer versus...
Wait, Jordan was a football player, though.
Oh, really?
I do know that.
I thought they said that Brendan was a a college basketball player.
Brendan was?
I thought someone said, like...
Maybe he is.
They're former basketball players or something, and then it showed Brendan, so I thought they were talking about...
I do know that Jordan was basketball, and Joe was volleyball.
Go, Joe.
He also was the district spelling bee champion in 1997.
That's a good accomplishment.
Yeah. District. That's big.
Yeah. I knew someone who went to the national spelling bee 3 years in a row.
The farthest I ever got was district, and I didn't even win that.
I don't think I made it out of the classroom one. And I'm a good speller, but I just had some bad luck.
Bad luck. There is luck involved. Wait, what fight are we on now?
Okay, Spencer versus Ben. That was the draw that no one won.
Ben's back got smashed multiple times.
Yeah,
I was very worried about him.
That looked scary.
That was another moment where I was like, where's the chiropractor?
But honestly, Ben was looking good.
He was looking good, but I was very worried about his well-being.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think so? The last fight we supposedly are going to see is Chasen versus Ed. And I wanted to ask you, like, do you think it's kind of sketchy to pair two guys that are, like, actually already mad at each other?
I don't think it's sketchy. I think it's predictable.
Yeah, I don't know. I just was kind of weirded out by it. I was they're going so hard, and you're putting them in a situation that, I don't know.
I don't think Ed, it was very obvious. Ed would have not have done what he had done if he had fought anyone else.
Yeah. Yeah. So obviously Chasen and Ed are supposed to fight each other. And then at the last minute, Ed says that he has shoulders that dislocate easily.
Sure.
Probably.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, that is a thing.
I mean, everyone has their problem areas, but I'm just saying if it had been anyone else, including the people who obliterated other people.
Yeah, and
he
why
would have fought them.
My question is, why does Ed wait till literally the last
That's
second?
what I'm saying. It was not,
yeah,
meh.
that was
I don't
silly.
dislike him. I just think that was kind of
it
a
was weird
move.
Like if I was him, I would have said that at the very beginning of the date.
Yeah. Just
such as Bennett.
Bennett did with his football, potentially soccer
Yeah.
injury. So Noah jumps the fence. He's not even on the date. He's in the live audience. He jumps the fence. I'm immediately worried about the oil that's going to get on his outfit. But he takes off his shirt. He keeps his jeans on, which very hard to be limber.
Yes.
And at least good jeans. Now, if he's wearing like H&M jeans that are stretchy.
Which he probably is. He's 25.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the money for anything more. I know this because I'm 25.
He's not wearing those 100% denim jeans. But still worried about the oil stains.
Sure.
Oil stains.
Oil doesn't come out.
No.
Maybe with some Dawn, but
you have to get it immediately.
Yeah.
Immediate soak.
I'm going to say that those pants are gone.
Yes. And honestly, this fight was really close. I don't know how the ref called it. I'm not a wrestling referee.
Me either.
But they both had moments where I was like, you had it.
Yeah. And then they ultimately called Chasen as the winner.
He did not need his head to get any bigger.
No, Chasen carrying around that stupid belt was just insufferable.
And I literally was like, if he lost, he would have been the biggest sore loser. He would have walked out.
He would have been like, yeah, it wasn't really fair because Noah wasn't even on the date, which he still pulls later.
Yeah. Ugh. Did you see what he did with the belt when they cut to the nighttime portion?
He was like carrying it around and
he put it on display, kind of like how Bennett did with the diploma. But he tried to do some stupid speech about like,
this is for all of us.
For all of us. Boo.
Again, as Ed has said, Chasen is an actor and not a good actor.
Boo.
A bad actor.
Boo, boo, boo. It's like from Princess Bride when that lady goes, "Boo!" I don't like him.
But then,
Noah's invited to their date night portion.
Noah, because he jumps the fence and fights Chasen. Tayshia says, why don't you join us on the night portion of the date? And Noah is more than happy to oblige.
Yeah.
But then we get a nice moment between Brendan and Tayshia at the beginning of this night portion of the date.
What happened there? I missed it.
They just sit down on the couch. They're having a casual chat, and Brendan starts, rambling a little bit.
Oh, this was really cute.
Yeah, and then Tayshia just cuts him off.
This is after the mustache combo.
Wait. No, it's not.
The mustache combo's in 2 parts.
The mustache combo is coming up right after
Are you sure?
That's what my notes are saying.
Okay, we'll follow it.
Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry. So yeah, he's talking.
Yeah, what happens? And then Tayshia just looks at him adoringly and cuts him off with a sweet kiss. And
I loved it.
And Brendan's face is so pure. Like there's so many
he's so precious.
Sweet emotions where he's just like, yeah, okay,
and
I should just stop talking.
I don't mean that in like a juvenile way.
No. Like the thing about Brendan is it's like he has that same quality as Tayshia as he almost just doesn't know what a catch he is and he's so attractive and he's so sensitive and sweet but also fun and still isn't full of himself.
Yeah.
And like still gets nervous around a girl.
I love his voice. He needs to be on that like sleep
The
app.
Calm app.
The Calm app where Harry Styles has recordings.
That was a really great chemistry moment for the two of them.
I liked it because after they kissed, he was like, she said, like, you talk a lot, but in a cute way.
Yeah,
he said, cute. Oh, so I should stop talking. And she was like, yes and no.
Yeah, that was really cute.
Okay, so now we get to the Noah mustache moment.
Yeah. Well, first we get a cutaway saying that from Ben telling the cameras his plan for the date.
What was his plan?
To wait till the very end.
Great plan.
And have a relaxing nightcap with Tayshia after she has talked to everyone else and just chill.
That's not a good plan.
Well, he was hype about it.
Bad plan.
So, yes. So first Ben lays out his plan, which as soon as they start, hyping up this plan, we know that it's going to go awry.
Yeah.
Because that's how these things work.
They wouldn't hype it up unless something was going to happen.
Yes.
With it. So do we want to talk about the Noah mustache thing?
I guess we have to.
I want to talk about it because there's an important thing I want to note. So they kiss, and then Tayshia immediately is like, you know what? And he immediately cuts to, you don't like the mustache. Here's what I want to talk about.
Okay.
Tayshia, wield this power while you can. This is a special, time-sensitive power in a relationship.
What do you mean by this?
Because the power you have early on in a relationship is different from the power you have once you're in a long, committed relationship.
Sure.
You're trying to earn good graces. You want to be especially attracted to that person. Later on, you're in the phase of, you're being farted on.
Ew. You're being farted on?
Not on purpose, just
in
bed or whatever.
I was gonna say I'm concerned for you.
But I put down, you have a special power early on in a relationship where a guy will shave a mustache, change his style, whatever.
Yeah, he's so open to suggestions.
But if this was 3 years in, this would not be happening. Now,
Nate recently grew a mustache, and I told him to shave it every single day, and he only shaved it when he was good and ready.
Yeah.
So
now here's my personal stance. Anyone can do whatever they want to do in their relationship. I personally don't feel comfortable asking Cam to do things to his hair or his beard or whatever, because it's his body but if he asks my opinion, I'll give my opinion.
Sure.
Or if he does a little trim and I think it's uneven, I'll tell him it's uneven.
Yes.
But Cam has a new bravery since we've gotten married.
Yeah, it comes with the security of a loving relationship.
Here's some examples of some brave choices he's made since we've gotten married. He's bought Jonas Brothers white jeans, that are as tight as the Jonas Brothers jeans.
I'm picturing Camp Rock.
Yes, very Camp Rock vibes. He has tribal print drop crotch pants.
I don't even know what those are.
Hammer pants.
Oh no. Where did he get those?
Goodwill. No, wait. It was a consignment store.
Okay.
Those are just some examples of things he's bought since we've been married.
That checks out that he got it at a consignment store because I don't know a store that would sell those currently.
And these are things that he probably wouldn't have bought while I was present when we were dating. Maybe just be like, this is funny.
Right.
But now he has them.
Now he's really trying to rock it.
And now he considers all opportunities when he can wear these items.
Nate keeps telling me that he's going to dye his hair platinum blonde.
Cam wants that too.
What? I don't understand.
It all started with Justin Bieber. He did it last year.
I don't think that's where Nate got his inspo.
Oh.
Maybe indirectly.
Zac Efron did it too.
It just seems like an actual natural instinct for every man.
I don't think they realize how expensive that process will be.
I told Nate, it's not going to look the way you think it is, especially if you don't spend money on it.
And the upkeep.
Yeah, and then it's going to grow out and look terrible.
It's going to be hundreds of dollars to do with the processing, and then you have to keep doing it or shave your head.
And it ruins your hair.
Yeah. Good point. I just want to note that Tayshia has a special power in this moment.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. Because she asks. Also, it's funny that she she says she wants to mention something, and immediately he knows it's his mustache, which means he knows it's dumb.
Did you note that? Did you see Noah's cast photo? That from like the ones that they took themselves?
Yes.
His cast photo from like the ones they took themselves was easily the worst one.
It was very bad.
Very youth group.
Noah reminds me of Taylor Lautner.
In the worst way.
Yeah, agree.
He's not a bad guy.
Well, I don't think Taylor Lautner is attractive.
No.
But I'm saying, like, they have that same type of thing where their face is a baby face, but they are kind of bulky at the same time, so it doesn't really match.
Yeah. What was his character in Twilight?
Jacob?
We're going to have some Team Jacob people coming after us because we both aren't attracted to Taylor Lautner.
I mean,
also throwback to when Taylor Swift and Taylor Lautner dated.
Yeah, throwback to that scene in Valentine's Day where they make out.
Wow, memories. So we cut to Noah.
Okay.
Noah's going to grab his razor, and there is a small cut scene here where Chasen goes to her and says, "You look muy bonita." So we've moved on from a smoke show now to muy bonita.
Wait, did we even talk about the fact that he said smoke show like 1,000,000 times?
We did. We talked about how immediately after he overcompensated and started saying smoke show any chance he got.
Where does he... It's like he is watching movies to get some clues about what to say to girls.
Yes, he's calling up all of his gal pals and saying...
He's just like picking these random phrases and he's like, I'm going to make this thing. It's like he's a computer and it's like scrolling. Muy bonita.
We're giving him too much credit because that would mean he would have like a database in his brain.
Yeah, when really he only has like 2 things.
And then we cut to Jordan and Tayshia having a conversation. All we get is that he is unwaveringly loyal. He has unwavering loyalty. What an intense thing to say.
Yeah. Jordan is also only 1 year older than Noah, who's 25.
Oh, he's also a baby.
Yeah. But he looks like he's 35.
He looks 30
I'm really confused by his whole thing that
vibe
he has going on.
But Noah interrupts him. I didn't like how... Jordan, whenever he interrupts him, Jordan looks to Tayshia and says, I'm going to give this one to you. As if it was for him to give to her in the first place.
Yeah, that puts Tayshia in a bad situation. Like, it's a lose-lose. So I think if you're in that situation and you're not the lead, you just got to take it on the chin and suck it up.
Yeah. Yeah. So he goes back and reports to the group that Noah has interrupted. The men are triggered because this is literally what Dale did on a group date is have time.
Yeah, I don't really
and then interrupt.
I don't really blame them for getting a little miffed, but I don't think it's a huge deal.
He wasn't a part of the date in the first place.
Yeah, that is annoying.
He makes it onto the date, and then he has 2 times to talk to Tayshia.
Yeah, I'd be annoyed.
Ben hasn't had time to talk to one. Of course, he's waiting to be the last one, which is a terrible plan.
But he doesn't know that yet.
We go to Noah's mustache trimming moment. I'm telling you, this razor is like what a mom buys their son.
Yeah,
their first razor.
When we were watching this, Kara goes, "That is a children's razor," and I said, "Nate has that razor."
I literally think that's the razor his mom bought before he went to Bible college.
I don't. Literally, before he went to his Bible college of like 2,000 people, that's smaller than his high school.
Yeah,
I actually don't think it's the same razor as Nate's. It's just the same shape, but I think because Nate doesn't have like the big full one, and his has like a green accent. But I think only the blade is green. Anyway, I don't think it's the exact same one, but that was funny.
I'm telling you, his mom gave him that razor. 5 years ago, and he's only used it a couple of times,
and he's like never gotten a new blade,
or
cleaned it.
Not.
He definitely has little hairs all around his sink.
party foul. Not good
Even
marriage
if you
material.
don't share a bathroom, that's red
Yeah,
flag.
disgusting. What I want to say is, you can say what you want about Noah, his personality, his weird mustache, his weird overall vibe.
his weird being.
But he does look better without the mustache, because whenever the mustache went away, I thought to myself, oh, he has eyes.
You like never notice his eyes because you're always staring at his lip.
Yeah, and he has nice eyes. He has baby blues.
Okay, Noah, he has nice eyes. He's entertaining. I think he means well, but don't like him.
He's just not on Tayshia's level.
No, he is. He's not a grown man.
It doesn't mean that he won't ever be on her level. I'm just saying at his current mature state, according to what we've talked about before, random facts that I don't know are true, his brain is not fully developed.
Oh yeah, that's so true. And
I love how when they get back to the group, Tayshia says about Noah, "You look really great without that mustache. Don't you guys agree?"
no one says anything.
Silence.
Also, before they go back to the group, they're like making out or whatever. And I realized that sometimes watching these scenes, the kisses make me go, aw. And some make me go, ew. And this
one
makes me go, ew.
You know why it made me go ew? I was worried about the stray shaved hairs getting in her mouth.
He didn't wash his face off.
They need a moist towel, like a steam towel to wipe off that, or like one of those barber brushes.
Yes.
I was worried about small little hairs getting all in her mouth.
He just shaved it off with no shaving cream. Now that you mention it,
they didn't do the close shave. They just did the stubble.
Oh, okay.
But I was worried about all those little hairs.
Yeah, that was gross.
Nothing worse than a hair in your mouth when you're kissing.
Yeah, and then, okay, so not to derail it, but anyway.
But
they get back.
Yeah, the men obviously are not pleased about his second round.
Especially Ben, because...
Oh, yeah, he asks her, can I have some time? This was so awkward. And she was like, Ben, the night's over.
That was really awkward.
Well, she didn't know what to do.
Yeah, but it was just felt weird.
Because then it's one of those things, like, if you start allowing guys to do that, how long are you going to let guys just say, can I have one more thing? Even though Ben didn't talk to her at all.
And then she says that she wishes that she was disappointed. Yeah. Doesn't she say this in front of the whole group, too? Like, that she was disappointed and she wanted to have time
I don't know.
I think she does.
I know she said it. I can't remember in what setting, but that was uncomfy.
Yeah, and it was so sad. Like, this is a classic miscommunication that just gets your heartstrings going. Like, all scenarios like this where both parties had such good intentions and really care, but they missed each other.
Yeah.
It's just the most tragic feeling.
And then, of course, all he has is time to overthink about what happened.
Yeah.
And that's never good for you.
No. Yeah. Because he's just going to think about that and replay that.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have TV. He doesn't have a phone.
All he has is his brain.
All he has is his brain and that to think about.
Yeah. And all of his meditation spaces that he sits on in his room. Cut to the first episode. Throwback. Let's talk about what's coming next week. And we're also going to talk about the Brendan scene at the very end.
Also, I want to say, I feel like Ed might always be drunk.
Of course.
The way that he talks. Either he's
or buzzed.
Yeah.
Buzzed.
I can definitely
because they have a drink limit.
Oh, yeah. So, well, maybe he has a low tolerance.
Or maybe he just chooses really powerful drinks.
Yeah. He's like, if I can only have X amount of drinks, I'm going to go as hard as I can.
Yeah. I don't know what a good hard drink is.
Maybe like a Long Island iced tea.
He would. I don't know if that's hard enough, but my alcohol knowledge is very, very
I'm pretty
little.
sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that just has like a bunch of different types of alcohol poured into it.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
So looking into next week, Becca Kufrin's coming.
Yeah, I'm
Sydney's
excited to
coming
see her.
too.
Yeah,
Sydney
that's kind of random.
Kind of random, but maybe they're friends.
Sure.
I'm predicting that there's going to be a talent show.
What did... Oh, because we
saw Damar with a guitar, so we know now that Damar is musical.
And Blake with
Blake
an
with
accordion,
the accordion,
which is laughable.
Not musical.
I don't know. Is it gonna be all instrument related? I think.
I think I saw someone else do like a acapella.
Okay,
Which
but
is
music related.
I don't know. I'm thinking talent show though.
Okay. I'll be anticipating
we get
that.
a Zach C hot tub makeout scene.
Yeah, so do we think that he has the one-on-one? Because I don't know when else they'd have
I am not going to say for sure.
Okay.
Because there have been, I know in Sean Lowe's season, he had gone on group dates where he had hot tub scenes.
Gotcha.
As long as they can sneak away. We get a Becca and Bennett kiss.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that.
I don't know what to think about that at this time.
Really?
Because right now I don't know what kind of connection they have.
I don't know either, but I'm excited because I think we might see a more... I think everything we've seen from Bennett so far is amazing, but it's like... It's the outer layers of his personality, so I'm excited to see if there's... what the next level is.
The next level of the chateau.
Yes. The
Chateau
castle,
Benang.
inside the castle walls.
Yes. We also... there's a very short shot of Chasen and Noah sitting together on like a daybed, which I'm like, oh, they're friends? Not a good look.
Makes sense.
But I mean, that's a bad move for Noah, in my opinion.
That's a bad move for Chasen.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Because Tayshia loves Noah.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a bad move for Chasen in terms of being friends with the other guys.
Yes, but for Noah, it's bad on both fronts.
Yeah.
Because Chasen has this label of being aggressive now. And being kind of caught up in lies or whatever.
But like as far as season villains go so far, Chasen is tame.
Sure, because he's lame.
Yeah, he's just so bleh.
We also get a cut of Tayshia calling like a house intervention for drama.
Yeah. Go off.
I put down here, Tayshia, take the wheel.
Yeah, she's got to take charge and shut it down.
I love when a woman lead takes charge and shut it down.
Yes, I agree.
Some others
put them in their place.
Emily Maynard, who was a Bachelorette in 2013, I think, she did a really good job of shutting it down and sending guys home when she was just over them.
That's good.
Let's talk about the last cutscene with Brendan and the horsies.
Oh, that was so cute.
So if you missed this, Brendan recreated Tayshia and him in his first date. He got these...
Which he said was the best date he's ever been on in his life.
Yes. I mean, it was a pretty cute date.
That's a bold statement, but also, I mean, there were fireworks at the end, so...
It looks like they modified these rocking horses to be on wheels.
Yeah.
Or different kinds of wheels than they originally were on. And he says...
Yeah, they looked like they just took, like, an office chair and screwed those
wheels on.
into... Yeah.
Yeah. And then he says... Excuse me.
It's getting late.
He says you just thrust it. It's a really natural movement.
Yeah, he said the word thrust a lot.
But with his voice, his precious voice, I don't care.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that was cute. And Tayshia was actually genuinely laughing so hard.
Yeah, I love her giggle.
I know. But it wasn't even a giggle. It was a laugh.
Yes.
It was an unadulterated
effervescent
laugh.
Once again.
Yeah.
Well, that was the end of the episode. Now, before we get to our last segments, ABC publicized that there was going to be a sneak peek for Matt James's season during the show that comes on after The Bachelorette called Big Sky. Now,
I'm so tired of seeing these dang promos.
Now, this is what I told Beth. We schemed before we watched. I said, Beth, I'm not about to sit through an hour of Big Sky to get a promo, which might be 2 minutes.
Plus, it looks scary.
Yeah, there's abduction. Anyways, I said, we're not watching an hour of this. So what we're going to do, we're going to record after we watch the episode, let Big Sky run its course, record Big Sky, and then we'll fast forward through it, find the promo, and then we'll come back on and record the remaining of the episode. So we're going to take a quick break, go watch that promo, and we'll be back with our thoughts. Be right back.
Okay, so we just watched the quote-unquote promo for Matt's season.
What a joke.
That was 30 seconds max.
30 seconds max. I was thinking it was going to be like a solid 2.5 minute promo.
Yeah, like a full teaser trailer. But really all we see is some shots of Matt James looking great.
A woman tripping on the way to introduce herself.
And then Chris Harrison saying that women are falling for him.
Literally.
The low-hanging fruit of a joke.
We learned that Matt has never been in love.
Right.
Which, what do you think about that?
I think that's interesting. I don't think it's necessarily anything crazy, though.
No, I mean, as someone...
Because
I fall in love very easily. So.
Well, I was also going to say, even if I would have said that I was in love with my boyfriend in high school, I think that was true to the level I understood it.
Yeah.
But the level of what it means to be in love grows with every relationship.
I wonder if that means I want to hear if that means he's never said I love you before.
That's a good question.
That's what I want to know.
There was someone else on a recent season who said they'd never been in love.
And
it was Hannah Ann.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think she said that.
There's someone in a past season who's been almost 30 who said they've never said I love you to someone.
Oh, really? I don't remember who that is.
I don't either, but so he's never been in love, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just my thought is, how is he going to be able to discern whether or not he is in love?
Well,
in
I
such
feel
an
like
expedited
if he
process.
Feels a new feeling that he's never felt before.
He's going to feel a lot of new feelings he's never felt before in this process.
I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. And I don't think that it's a disadvantage, if I'm being honest. But maybe I just think it's
something to note because...
But just because he hasn't been in love doesn't mean he hasn't felt swept away.
But I feel like sometimes having that experience can help you determine what you need in a relationship.
That is true.
Because just because you fall in love with someone doesn't mean that person is what you need. Because you can fall in love with the wrong person.
Right. Well, as long as he also can keep his feelings in line with whatever values he has.
Yeah. I'm just saying I think it's more challenging to someone who hasn't been in love before.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know if I feel the same way, but I don't know why.
Okay.
Because what you're saying makes sense.
Yeah. I think that experience in this scenario, and I'm not saying in every dating scenario, in this particular scenario where you're the lead, would be more helpful.
But here's the thing. Someone like Claire would say she's been in love a lot. And did that help her know what she needed? She would say yes, but we all watched that and said, well, that was fast. So
I don't know. I think that helped her.
But I guess we'll see if it helped her in the long run, because we'll see what happens with her and Dale.
But just something to note. I think it's important. They obviously took a time to make sure we knew that in the 30 seconds.
Yes.
And like you said, it's going to be Chris Harrison's job to make sure that he does fall in love.
Right.
Which I didn't know that was part of his job description, but apparently it is now.
That's in his contract, Kara.
And then, of course, we have lots of tears, lots of girl drama, which is
I
pretty
forgot.
typical.
Yeah, it made me forget that. That's why I love watching The Bachelor, because of the girl drama. It's so juicy.
I also want to see some solid girl friendships, though.
Yes,
I love a friendship bond.
I agree. I'm sure we'll get some of that too.
And then I saw at least 3 or 4 hot tub shots.
Oh, I must have missed that.
It was very fast. It was like boom, boom, boom. And that makes sense because we're getting into a cooler season.
Yeah, it's winter time.
So,
because they're still currently filming this, right? Or are they wrapped?
If they are, it's getting close to being done.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. Absolutely nuts.
That's exciting.
But
overall,
they'll be done before Christmas for sure.
Right.
But yeah, wow. I mean,
overall underwhelming. Not because of Matt James, but because there just wasn't a lot in the
they
promo.
really wanted us to watch a 1-hour show to get a 30-second promo.
That was a trap.
We live in the world of DVR now. ABC. Yeah, joke's on you.
We're not gonna fall for that.
Yeah. We didn't.
we came up with a smarter way.
Okay, so I wish we had more to report on that, but we just simply don't.
Yeah, you probably don't even need to watch it.
Yeah.
Just wait till the longer one comes out.
We wait for the 2.5-minute one.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to our next segment called This Week's Rosebud, where we pick a person who's in the episode, doesn't matter who, could be a cast member, could be the lead, could be Chris Harrison, could be a guest, could be a producer, and we give them our rosebud of the week. Beth, who was your rosebud this week?
My rosebud is going to Wells.
Oh, really?
Yes, because I love to see him in the 30 seconds to 1 minute of airtime that he did have. He had some funny one-liners. Mm-hmm. And I think he just brought some much needed realness to that very overall strange date.
I agree. I wish we had gotten more of him, though.
I think we could have used more, which is why I'm going to give him the rosebud, because when you give someone a rose, it means you want to see more of them.
You know what? We need Wells to bring Sarah Hyland on.
When is that happening?
I don't know, but
I need that to happen. Maybe they could go on Paradise together.
That would be wonderful.
She could be his
she
assistant
is so charming.
At the bar.
I don't think she's interested at all.
Really? I feel like she's not the kind of person that thinks she's too cool for it, though.
No, I just don't think she has an interest.
I want her to have an interest.
Because she met Wells because she's a watcher of the show. Mm-hmm. Do you know how they met?
No.
She literally tweeted, like, Wells is so cute during JoJo's season.
Yeah.
And then somehow later on they crossed paths and
he was like, I think you're cute too.
And now they're engaged.
I love that. I love them as a couple.
You don't have to agree with this. Actually, don't comment on this because I need to live in a different reality.
Wait.
What?
Are you going to tell me your theory?
No. Oh, yeah, I will. I promise.
Okay.
But let me give you this comment first. I posted a photo to a thread the other day about, it's one of those threads like, I'll post a photo and you tell me what celebrity I look like. And I've done that a couple of times, and both times I've gotten Sarah Hyland.
Really?
And it's strictly because of our face shape and our nose.
Maybe if I saw a picture side by side.
Yeah, because our hair is completely different. But it's when I'm wearing the glasses, because she wears those glasses. Yeah. But we have a similar face shape. That's really it. But I'm sure if I was as tiny as she was, I wonder if I would look more like her.
Probably.
Not that I'm going to lose weight, just to look more like Sarah Hyland.
She's also very short and very, very small.
Anyway,
I think that's just her build.
That's just the response I always get.
Who would I get?
That lady from SNL that Nate has a crush on.
Yeah, people have said that.
She's stunning. I don't care what anyone's... People said that I don't know.
Are you saying my celebrity lookalike is told to be ugly?
No. I'm just saying that
no.
She has an interesting nose, and so some people are like...
I don't think I have the same nose as her.
You don't have the same nose as her.
What's her name again?
I don't remember. I literally watched a movie with her in it the other day, but she's absolutely stunning. And I watched a movie with her and David Spade in it the other week. Absolutely hilarious. She makes that movie.
Heidi Gardner, is that her name?
I have no idea.
Is this who you're talking about?
Yes, she's stunning.
Yeah, she is.
She just plays characters that are awkward, which is why I think people project that onto her appearance.
Yeah,
but she's not awkward. Anyways, my rosebud this week goes to, and it literally came to me while you were talking.
Oh,
my rosebud this week goes to Carlos the baby.
Oh, Carlos,
guys, Carlos has a Twitter.
Oh, yes. I was
Some genius created a Twitter
Bachelor
for Carlos.
Nation retweeted Carlos the baby's Twitter.
Yes. So we need to find out how can we get him to be more a part of the show.
Makes me think of Carlos from Big Time Rush.
Makes me think of Carlos from Magic School Bus when they go...
Two good Carlos.
Carlos.
Yeah.
Whenever he does a joke.
Wait, yes, that's funny.
Okay, you want to hear my theory before we do recommendations?
Yes.
Okay, here's my theory about Brendan. What do we know about Brendan? He's been married before, right?
Right.
He's been divorced before. Brendan apparently got divorced within the last 18 months.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that
Now,
soon.
Tayshia's divorce wasn't too long ago either.
Just a couple years.
Her divorce was like the relationship, the timeline between Brendan and him going on the show is very similar to when Tayshia got divorced and going on to Colton's season.
Okay.
So like a year and a half.
So that's not necessarily going to be a deal breaker for her.
But I just feel like, I just have this feeling that something's going to go awry.
On whose side?
I just feel like maybe Brendan is going to get to a point where he maybe
Do you feel like he's going to leave? Because he's like, wait, I'm not ready for this.
I'm not ready
even
or
though
something.
I'm like in love with her.
Yeah. Like, I don't think that it's going to be a matter of him not having feelings.
Honestly, as much as I hate to say it, I could totally see that.
But here's what I think after that. I think Tayshia is either A, gonna pick someone and pull an Ari or Jason Mesnick and be like, I can't stop thinking about Brendan, and go and gets her guy.
Even if he wasn't ready to get engaged.
Yeah. Just like she did with JPJ. She couldn't stop thinking about JPJ after Paradise, and then she went to his town and got her guy. I think she might do maybe a similar move and go get Brendan.
But you would think if she's already done that once, she wouldn't do that again. You know what? Not like out of pride, but just...
That sounds like an out of pride thing, though.
The intuition of, no, this is the person.
It's a different scenario, though, because in that scenario with JPJ, she broke up with him.
Right.
But in this scenario, it's that
he would leave, is what you think.
So my thought is maybe
even if he does that, I will respect him.
Oh, I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
No, I mean, I'll be sad, but like if he was to do something like that, that would only prove more of what type of person we believe him to be.
So she'll either pick a guy and then pull a Jason Mesnick or Ari and go get him, which would be the first time a woman ever did that, which I think would be like, I'm not saying like great because we don't want to cause heartbreak. Right. But I think it would be interesting because that a woman lead has never done that.
Right.
Has never gone back on a decision. Or she'll leave without a guy at all and go home and reach out to Brendan on her own. Mm. That's my theory. I'm not saying that's the only theory that I have.
That's a good one. I could see it happening.
I just don't see... I feel like there's a bump in the road ahead.
Also, did you... see you sent me the thing where someone did a TikTok explaining that they had their closed captioning on their TV for the promo.
Yeah.
And
okay, you may explain what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was the promo that came out that we had last week. Someone turned on their closed captioning and apparently it revealed that Tayshia's ex-husband is speaking because it says Josh Burrell, which apparently is his name. Tayshia did not like that people were coming forth and talking about this. She doesn't want people, she actually was like, I don't want people talking about my previous marriage in the show. There are a couple theories around this. It could be that it was a soundbite from a previous series. Like he could have been interviewed for Colton season or Paradise and the producers didn't use it then, but they're using it now, which apparently has happened in previous seasons. Or it could be just what it is at face value. We could be seeing her ex-husband pop up on this season.
If so, I would be really annoyed at the producers.
Yeah.
That would be messed up.
And it's been a long time. I mean, it's been 3 years.
And he has like nothing to do with what's happening now.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why.
But Tayshia went on to Instagram and said she was annoyed by people investigating it.
That's what people do, though. They investigate what's going to happen. That's just the nature of it.
But when it's your potential emotional trauma, especially since he cheated on her.
Yeah, I get that.
Bringing that back up's upsetting.
It's also like, if that's really happening, that's the show's fault.
Yeah. The closed captioning does.
And the closed captioning.
This isn't the first time closed captioning has
ruined
caused something like this. Yeah.
Anyway.
So let's go on to our last segment. Will you accept this recommendation? Where Beth and I share our top-notch, high-quality recommendations to you, our listeners.
Carefully thought out.
I don't have mine ready yet, Beth, so I'm going to need you to go first this week.
Okay. Well, I would say that my recommendation is to find a show that you love and watch it while you work out. And that's a very...
Not happening for me.
That's a very specific recommendation, but... I've been having some trouble with motivation. Like I've been doing home workouts, as probably many of us have, because of COVID, and I don't really want to go to the gym right now.
I canceled mine.
I can't cancel mine. It's a year long.
No, you can.
Really?
You mean you have to pay like a little extra fee?
Frick. Okay, I got to figure out how to do that. Anyway, what I've been doing that's making me look forward to it is. Like right now, I'm watching The Crown, and I haven't started the recent season because I'm a little behind. Okay. So don't say anything.
Well, I'm not watching it at the speed that I want to because Cam's now interested, so I can only watch one episode a day.
That's torture.
And we just started today.
Okay, but this is what's great. I only have time to watch an episode a day, and I play it while I do my home workout, and it's a huge incentive.
Yeah.
To do it, and it makes the time go by fast.
I did that with Gilmore Girls at the beginning of quarantine. I lost my momentum.
That's okay.
But
if you work out, like, it's a nice incentive, makes the time go by fast.
I think that's a good recommendation.
Thank you. And it's not food or drink related.
I think that those are okay.
I know. I'm just saying.
Well, I guess yours is like almost mine because I literally was going to recommend The Crown.
Oh, gosh. We're just on the same wavelength.
Wait, I do also, and there's another show we're both, oh, don't worry about it.
Okay.
There's another show that we both are enjoying that I finished recently that you're watching, or I think you're still watching, is The Queen's Gambit.
Oh, I finished it.
Okay,
it was really good. It was so good. Never mind, I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, don't spoil it for real.
Yeah.
But so The Queen's Gambit and The Crown, but specifically The Crown because it's been released this Sunday. I love it because it's like a history lesson because I know it's not all historically accurate.
But it follows history, the general history of what's happened.
But I always have my phone out when I'm watching because I'm always looking up the facts.
Yeah, I was doing that
and I love reporting them to Cam. This is the facts. And in addition to that, there's a podcast I've been listening to called You're Wrong About, and they cover a variety of topics, but they do a 5-part series on Princess Diana.
That sounds great.
It covers.
I think I want to watch The Crown and then listen to that.
Either or, because I listened to the first episode, which doesn't surpass the first episode of The Crown with this season, and I thought they went hand in hand really well.
Good to know.
So
I'll check that out.
Yeah, The Crown is great.
I accept your
High
recommendation.
Quality. Diana's here.
Yeah, wow.
Finally.
Iconic.
Well, that's all we have this week. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at Cabbage Batch Pod and on Twitter at Cabbage_batch.
And
what else?
Subscribe to the podcast and leave us a review.
Thanks to whoever left us a review this past week. It was a really sweet one.
Yeah, it's always exciting.
So we do love to hear from you. What else, Beth? Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's it. But hope everyone has a good rest of your week. And we'll talk to you guys later.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.